In the modern history of football, few partnerships have left a mark as deep, as lasting, and as iconic as the connection between Didier Drogba and Frank Lampard, two players whose careers did not just overlap, but intertwined to define an era. When Chelsea began its transformation into a global football powerhouse in the early 2000s, it was not driven by one superstar alone, but by a core of leaders who carried the club through pressure, expectation, and historic moments, and at the very heart of that core stood Drogba and Lampard. One was a commanding striker forged by adversity, power, and unbreakable mentality. The other a midfield general, defined by intelligence, timing, and relentless consistency. Together, they represented the perfect balance of force and finesse, emotion and control, instinct and calculation. Their partnership was not built overnight, but over years of battles in domestic leagues, European nights, and high-stakes finals, where every touch, run, and decision mattered. They became symbols of resilience and belief, players who never hid when the moment demanded courage, and leaders who elevated everyone around them. This is not just the story of two footballers playing for the same club, it is the story of how two careers aligned to shape Chelsea's golden era, redefine winning mentality in English football, and create moments that still echo across stadiums and generations of fans. Didier Yves Drogba Lampard, born on March 11, 1978, in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, is one of football's most iconic and influential strikers. A man whose story feels almost cinematic because of how late his rise to greatness came and how completely he transformed every stage he played on. Drogba spent much of his childhood moving between Ivory Coast and France, living with relatives as his parents worked, and unlike many football legends, he was not a prodigy who dominated youth football from an early age. Instead, his journey was slow, uncertain, and shaped by setbacks that forged his mental strength. He struggled with injuries as a teenager and bounced around lower-division French clubs, including Le Mans and Guingamp, where his raw power, intelligence, and work ethic gradually began to stand out. It was at Guingamp, particularly during the 2000-03 season, that Drogba truly announced himself, scoring goals in Ligue 1 and the Coupe de France with a combination of physical dominance, technical quality, and tactical awareness that caught the attention of Europe's biggest clubs. His move to Olympique de Marseille in 2003 marked a major turning point, as Drogba became the focal point of the team, leading the line with authority and finishing as the club's top scorer while helping Marseille reach the UEFA Cup final in 2004, where his performances earned him widespread recognition as one of the most complete strikers in the game. That same year, Chelsea manager Jose Mourinho famously described Drogba as a real target man and made him one of the club's most expensive signings at the time, bringing him to Stamford Bridge in the summer of 2004, a transfer that would redefine both Drogba's career and Chelsea's history. At Chelsea, Drogba evolved from a talented but inconsistent forward into a legendary figure synonymous with big moments, leadership, and relentless competitiveness. His early seasons were not without criticism, as he was often scrutinized for missed chances or his physical style of play, yet Mourinho trusted him implicitly, building the team's attacking system around his ability to hold up the ball, bully defenders, and create space for others. Drogba played a crucial role in Chelsea's Premier League dominance in the mid-2000s, helping the club win league titles in 2004-05 and 2005-06, with his work rate and tactical discipline proving just as valuable as his goals. Over time, he developed into a decisive finisher, delivering in finals and high-pressure matches where others faltered. His performances in domestic cup finals became legendary, earning him a reputation as a big-game player, and his goals in FA Cup finals, League Cup finals, and title-deciding matches cemented his status as one of Chelsea's all-time greats. Drogba reached his peak during the 2009-10 season, scoring 29 league goals to win the Premier League Golden Boot and helping Chelsea secure a historic domestic double under Carlo Ancelotti, showcasing not just brute strength but also improved technique, intelligent movement, and deadly accuracy beyond club football. Drogba's impact with the Ivory Coast national team elevated him to a symbol of hope and unity for an entire nation. He made his international debut in 2002 and quickly became the face of Ivorian football, leading the team during its golden generation alongside players like Yaya Toure, Kolo Toure, and Salomon Kalou. Drogba captained Ivory Coast to multiple Africa Cup of Nations tournaments and played a pivotal role in guiding the country to its first-ever FIFA World Cup qualification in 2006. A historic achievement that transcended sport. One of the most powerful moments of his life came not on the pitch, but in front of cameras in 2005, when he made an emotional plea for peace after Ivory Coast qualified for the World Cup, urging opposing factions in the country's civil conflict to lay down their arms, a moment widely credited with contributing to a ceasefire and solidifying Drogba's legacy as more than just a footballer. He represented Ivory Coast at the 2006, 2010, and 2014 World Cups, scoring important goals and carrying the expectations of a nation, even though major international trophies narrowly eluded him. With painful AFCON final defeats marking some of the most heartbreaking chapters of his career, Drogba's club journey after his first Chelsea spell further illustrated his global influence and adaptability. As he continued to succeed across different leagues and cultures, he left Chelsea in 2012, after delivering the defining moment of the club's history, scoring a dramatic late equalizer and then converting the decisive penalty in the Champions League final against Bayern Munich. A performance that perfectly summarized his career: fearless, decisive, and unbreakable under pressure. That night in Munich immortalized him as Chelsea lifted their first-ever Champions League trophy largely because of his heroics. Drogba then played for Shanghai Shenhua in China and Galatasaray in Turkey, where he added domestic titles and continued to score in crucial matches, proving that age had not diminished his competitive fire. His return to Chelsea in 2014 was met with immense emotion, and he once again contributed to a Premier League title in the 2014-15 season, offering leadership, experience, and crucial moments before departing the club for the final time as a true legend. He later enjoyed stints in Major League Soccer with Montreal Impact and in the Phoenix Rising organization, where he combined playing with ownership responsibilities, reflecting his vision beyond football and his desire to grow the sport globally. Off the pitch, Didier Drogba's legacy is defined by his humanitarian work, leadership, and enduring influence on African and world football. Through the Didier Drogba Foundation, he has supported education and healthcare initiatives, particularly in Ivory Coast, funding hospitals and community projects that have had a tangible impact on thousands of lives. He has been recognized by global organizations for his role in peace building and social responsibility, earning respect far beyond the football community. Drogba officially retired from professional football in 2018, leaving behind a career that defied conventional timelines and expectations, proving that greatness is not always born early, but can be forged through perseverance, resilience, and belief. Today, he is remembered not only as one of the greatest strikers of his generation and Chelsea's ultimate big-game hero, but also as a cultural icon whose voice carried weight in moments that mattered far more than trophies. His story stands as a powerful reminder that footballers can be leaders, unifiers, and agents of change, and that Didier Drogba's impact on the pitch, in his country, and across the world will endure long after the final whistle. Frank James Lampard OBE. Born on June 20, 1978, in Rumford, London, is widely regarded as one of the greatest midfielders in football history and arguably the most prolific goal-scoring midfielder the game has ever seen. A player whose intelligence, consistency, and relentless professionalism redefined what was possible from the center of the pitch. Raised in a footballing family, his father, Frank Lampard Sr., was a West Ham United legend, and his uncle, Harry Redknapp, was a respected manager. Lampard grew up surrounded by the game. Yet his journey was not without pressure, as he constantly faced comparisons and accusations of favoritism early in his career. He began his professional career at West Ham United, coming through the youth ranks and making his first team debut in 1995, gradually developing into a reliable midfielder known for his late runs into the box, powerful shooting, and tactical discipline. Despite helping West Ham achieve notable success, including an Intertoto Cup victory, Lampard sought a bigger stage to fully realize his potential. And in 2001, he made a bold move to Chelsea for a modest fee, one that would later be seen as one of the greatest bargains in football history. At Chelsea, Lampard's career transformed into something extraordinary, as he became the heartbeat of one of the most dominant teams in English football. Under Claudio Ranieri and later José Mourinho, Lampard evolved into a complete midfielder, combining defensive responsibility with attacking brilliance. And his understanding of space, timing, and movement made him a constant goal threat from midfield. He was remarkably durable, setting a club record for consecutive appearances. And his consistency season after season made him indispensable during Chelsea's rise to power in the mid-2000s. Lampard played a crucial role in Chelsea's Premier League triumphs in 2004-05 and 2005-06, as the club broke defensive and points records, while his leadership and professionalism set standards throughout the squad. Individually, he earned multiple top 3 finishes in the Ballon d'Or voting, a rare achievement for a midfielder, and was named Chelsea Player of the Year on several occasions. Reflecting both his influence on the pitch and his bond with the fans, Lampard's legacy is perhaps best captured by his extraordinary goal record, which sets him apart from every other midfielder in the modern era. Over his Chelsea career, he scored 111 goals in all competitions, making him the club's all-time leading scorer, an astonishing feat for a player who operated primarily in midfield. His goals came in every form imaginable: long-range strikes, perfectly timed runs into the box, clinical penalties, and crucial finishes in the biggest matches. Lampard had a unique ability to deliver in decisive moments, scoring in cup finals, title-defining games, and European nights where the pressure was at its highest. One of the most poignant chapters of his career came during the 2008 Champions League final, where he scored a goal shortly after the tragic passing of his mother, displaying emotional strength and professionalism that earned universal respect. Even though Chelsea narrowly lost the final on penalties on the European stage, Lampard's persistence and leadership were finally rewarded in 2012, when Chelsea completed one of the most dramatic Champions League campaigns in football history. Though suspended for the final, Lampard captained the team throughout the tournament and played a vital role in guiding Chelsea past giants of European football, contributing goals, assists, and calm authority during moments of chaos. The victory in Munich represented the culmination of years of near misses and heartbreak, and it cemented Lampard's place among the elite of the game. He followed this success by adding further silverware, including the Europa League in 2013, before leaving Chelsea as a true icon. Having won multiple Premier League titles, FA Cups, League Cups, and European trophies while redefining the role of the modern attacking midfielder, Lampard's influence extended beyond club football into the international arena with England, where he earned over 100 caps and represented his country in multiple European Championships and World Cups, while his international career was often marked by tactical debates and near misses. Lampard remained a consistent performer, scoring important goals and demonstrating leadership during an era of intense expectation for the national team. He was part of England's famed Golden Generation, alongside players like Steven Gerrard, David Beckham, and Wayne Rooney, and despite not achieving major tournament success, his commitment and professionalism were never in doubt. His intelligence off the pitch mirrored his performances on it, as he was widely known for his academic achievements, calm demeanor, and deep understanding of the game. After leaving Chelsea, Lampard enjoyed a brief but impactful spell at Manchester City, where he scored against his former club in an emotional moment that highlighted his class and respect for the game. Before finishing his playing career in Major League Soccer with New York City FC, following his retirement, Lampard transitioned into management, returning to Chelsea as head coach in 2019 during a challenging period marked by a transfer ban and the promotion of academy players. His willingness to trust youth and guide a new generation of talent earned admiration. And although managerial success proved more complex and demanding than his playing career, Lampard's dedication to learning and growth reflected the same mindset that defined him as a player. Today, Frank Lampard is remembered as more than just a Chelsea legend. He is celebrated as a symbol of consistency, intelligence, and excellence across an entire career. His story is one of steady progress rather than sudden stardom, of earning greatness through hard work, resilience, and an unmatched understanding of the game. As a footballer, he changed perceptions of what a midfielder could achieve, and as a leader, he embodied professionalism and loyalty at the highest level. Lampard's legacy lives on in the records he set, the trophies he lifted, and the countless players he inspired, ensuring that his name will forever be etched into the history of English and world football. Didier Drogba and Frank Lampard share one of the most iconic partnerships in modern football history. A connection built on mutual trust, complementary strengths, and a shared hunger for success that helped transform Chelsea from a competitive club into a European powerhouse. Both arrived at Chelsea in the early 2000s, Lampard in 2001 and Drogba in 2004, and became central figures during the most successful era the club had ever experienced. Together, they formed the spine of a team defined by mental strength, tactical discipline, and an ability to rise in the biggest moments. With Lampard's intelligence, timing, and goal-scoring from midfield perfectly complementing Drogba's power, hold-up play, and lethal finishing up front, their understanding on the pitch became legendary, as Lampard frequently arrived late into the box to finish chances created by Drogba's physical presence, while Drogba benefited from Lampard's vision, movement, and delivery, making them one of the most feared midfield striker duos in world football. In terms of achievements, Drogba and Lampard share an extraordinary list of honors that places them among the most decorated players in Premier League history. Together at Chelsea, they won multiple Premier League titles, FA Cups, and League Cups, dominating English football for nearly a decade and setting new standards for consistency and competitiveness. They were both central to Chelsea's domestic dominance under managers like Jose Mourinho and Carlo Ancelotti, playing decisive roles in title-winning campaigns and cup finals where pressure was at its highest. Their names are forever linked to Chelsea's historic 2012 UEFA Champions League triumph, a moment that defined the club's legacy. Drogba scored the dramatic equalizer in the final and converted the winning penalty in the shootout, while Lampard captained the team throughout the tournament, providing leadership, composure, and belief during one of the most improbable European runs in football history. That night in Munich symbolized everything they shared as players: resilience, courage, and the ability to deliver when it mattered most. Both players are also united by their reputation as big game performers, men who thrived on pressure rather than shrinking from it. Drogba became famous for scoring in cup finals and decisive matches, earning a near-mythical status for his clutch goals, while Lampard built a career on consistency in crucial moments, scoring in title races, European knockouts, and domestic finals season after season. They were leaders in different ways: Drogba through emotional intensity, physical presence, and vocal authority, and Lampard through calm control, tactical intelligence, and example. But together they embodied the winning mentality that defined Chelsea's identity during its rise to the elite of European football. Both were repeatedly recognized individually as among the best in the world in their positions, earning top rankings in global awards and widespread respect from teammates, opponents, and managers alike. Beyond trophies and goals, Drogba and Lampard share a deeper legacy rooted in loyalty, professionalism, and influence beyond the pitch. Each became a symbol of Chelsea's modern era, staying with the club through triumphs and setbacks and returning later in their careers to contribute again as experienced leaders. They also shared the experience of carrying enormous expectations for their national teams: Drogba as the face of Ivory Coast football and Lampard as a key figure in England's golden generation, demonstrate leadership and responsibility on the international stage even when ultimate success proved elusive. Their careers reflect a rare balance of individual brilliance and collective achievement, showing that greatness is not only measured by talent, but by consistency, mentality, and the ability to elevate those around you. Together, Didier Drogba and Frank Lampard represent more than just a successful partnership. They are the foundation of one of football's most iconic teams and an enduring example of how contrasting styles can unite to create something legendary. Their shared achievements, mutual respect, and unforgettable moments have permanently linked their names in football history, ensuring that whenever Chelsea's greatest era is discussed, Drogba and Lampard will always be mentioned side by side as symbols of excellence, leadership, and winning at the highest level. As the final chapters of their playing careers were written, the legacy of Didier Drogba and Frank Lampard stood firm, not just in trophy cabinets or record books, but in the memory of the game itself. Their achievements together represent a blueprint for sustained success, consistency over seasons, dominance in decisive matches, and an unwavering refusal to accept defeat when it mattered most. Drogba's legendary ability to rise in finals and Lampard's unmatched reliability across entire campaigns created a partnership that was as effective as it was historic. A combination that helped Chelsea conquer England and Europe while reshaping the club's identity forever. Long after the roar of the crowd faded and the final whistle blew, their influence remained seen in the standards they set, the mentality they instilled, and the belief they gave to fans who witnessed a club step into immortality. Their story reminds us that true greatness is rarely achieved alone. It is forged through trust, shared ambition, and the willingness to carry responsibility in the heaviest moments. If you enjoyed diving into this legendary partnership and want more deep stories about football's greatest players, moments, and rivalries, make sure to like this content, subscribe to the channel, and share it with fellow football fans. Drop a comment below if you have any questions, thoughts, or requests for the next player or duo you want to see covered. We read them all. Your support helps keep these stories alive, and as long as football history continues to inspire, there will always be more legends to explore.